Wednesday morning, February 11th. Thanks for joining us here on ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Fridmann.
Yeah, you are.
I am.
And
Who are
I'm
you?
Dan Schrack. That's who I am. We've got two full packed to get through this morning right here on ARC Rochester. So we're going to get down to what we have brewing for you this morning, people.
In our 8 o'clock hour, we are continuing to feature some of the animals competing to win the top title.
We need to have some protections in place when these animals come. We got to remove the plants.
Okay.
Because the goat tried to eat them last week.
It's fine, though.
Pulled some of the... It is, but I don't want the goat to get sick.
Sure, okay.
I don't want the bird to get sick. There's the goat.
The ears, are you kidding me? I'm so mad that I missed him.
Long, those ears. I hope there's video in this of the goat actually going for the plant, because that made the week, honestly. That was probably the highlight there. Just walking around.
Who else is there?
No, it wasn't a real cat.
Geez.
No. The cat was going to be a little bit stressed out, so Mom had a very large cardboard cutout of the cat and brought that in. But the cat knows how to campaign. The cat came in second place last year. Has campaign stickers.
As he should.
Yeah, I agree.
He should.
I agree.
Anything to win.
Anything to win. So I'm excited for the bird and the dog today.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
I think it'll be fun.
Yes. It's going to be a good contest.
It will be a good...
Yeah, fierce competition.
Have we entered Jay?
No, I'm not entering Jay. Because here's why. Here's why.
I'm going to secretly enter Jay.
Because I'm going to get my feelings hurt if she doesn't win. And I'm going to hate everybody who did win. And it's going to be a personal attack on my puppy.
Yeah,
and I'm not.
Right. You're right.
I would do anything for her. So she is top pet in my
your
household. Well, she's top dogs. We've got two.
Yes, this is. Then later we have the latest on some of the top local, national, and international headlines for you. Stephanie Joseph will be taking us behind the story. She's breaking down what's developing for us this morning. A lot of stuff happening in D.C.
Yep.
So we look forward to that conversation.
Yeah, and then coming up in the next half hour, we're taking a closer look at the rising price of eggs, and we're also going to talk about how it's impacting consumers and businesses all across the country.
People are squawking mad because of these egg prices.
Very clever.
I'll tell you what.
Very clever.
We've seen restaurants upcharge for eggs.
Yep.
We've seen other restaurants rip on restaurants for upcharging for eggs. There's some stores that actually sell chickens, and I think it would be interesting to talk with one of them to find out, are they selling more baby chicks right now, with people hoping that soon they can, just have eggs of their own?
That's a good question. It really is. Yeah.
It is. I think it would be interesting. So we'll be talking about that in just a little bit.
Yeah, and then we'll preview the 9 o'clock hour. Right now we are learning more about why all those Super Bowl MVPs say they're going to Disney World.
Yeah, did you know this? Yeah, well, I guess we didn't disclose anything. But this is something I heard this morning. Producer Ashley mentioned it, and I had no idea about that saying. So I am going to be saying from here on out, at least once a morning, we're going to Disney World.
Okay.
Because it sounds like it's worth it to me. You'll find out.
I'm intrigued.
You'll find out. So will you.
I feel like I know the answer, and when I hear it, I'm going to say, oh, I knew that.
Well, you think you know the answer.
Mm-hmm. I do. I do think I know the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's not what you think it is.
All right.
I know it's a surprise.
Okay. All right. I'm on the edge of my seat.
You should be.
And then we're going to be getting some tips on how to make sure you and your family are safe while using the app TikTok. We're going to be speaking to the head of trust and safety for TikTok.
So people can scroll through and watch it.
Yeah.
And maybe learn a little something. And then later this morning, we are observing National 211 Day, highlighting the indispensable role that in our community. The Director of Crisis Services at Goodwill of the Finger Lakes will join us with more about that. Great organization. They're always doing wonderful work in the greater Rochester community.
Yep, and then our own Christian Garzone will be joining us here in studio talking about a local story that he has been following very closely. This is regarding a Gates mother and her fight to make snowmobiling trails in New York State safer. He's going to talk more about the proposed legislation that is currently in committee.
This is such a popular sport, too. So many people do this during the winter months. And tragically, there are people out there who sometimes don't follow the rules or don't know exactly the way to do this safely. And it ends poorly. So it's an important conversation to be had.
And sometimes accidents happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's sad.
It is. It is. And then in our final half hour, we're continuing to get ready for Valentine's Day for National Satisfied Staying Single Day. Yup, you heard it right. We're going to be going over some of the benefits of being single, weighing the pros against the other pros of being single.
Really? No cons at all?
Not one con out there.
All right.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, and we've got that fantastic video to
we
play
do.
too.
We've got that belt that hits the floor in just the right way.
Stop. Ridiculous.
I know.
All right, before all of that, we're going to be getting a quick check of this morning's forecast. We'll go to meteorologist Marty Snyder, who's tracking it out for us. And Marty, we've been enjoying the tiny little bit of sunshine out there on this Tuesday.
At least for a few places, yeah, we're seeing those clouds start to increase a little bit, but still a few of those thin spots out there to increase across the area, so they'll fill in pretty well. But we're starting off mainly in the teens right now. We'll rise to about 27 at noon. We'll be somewhere in the upper 20s for highs today. Fairly quiet today, but tomorrow night, still have to watch at least that potential for at least some snow, then some mixed precipitation, and going back over to rain. So at least we'll end up above freezing. That's going to be the longer term. That'll be heading into tomorrow night, so a little bit of time before that arrives. But today, fairly quiet. At least some limited breaks of sun before clouds increase, and already we're seeing that with temperatures today back mostly to within a couple degrees of 30 for a high.
All right, starting things out in the teens, only upward from there. So I suppose that's the plus in addition to that little bit of sunshine.
Yeah, very true.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay.
All right, let's get to time saver traffic because some significant slowdowns out there. We're keeping our eye on a crash on 490. We're going to show you that in just a second here. Meantime, a look at some of the drive times. A significant slowdown impacting 390. You can see it highlighted in red there on the map. 2 crashes. Motor vehicle accident, the inner loop looking all right.
Yeah, this is that crash we're talking about, though, 490 East. We do know that the 2 left lanes and both shoulders are closed at this hour. Several crews out there, several flatbed trucks out there. We're still working to figure out exactly what happened, but we do know there was some sort of crash, and it's causing some serious backup right near Gates Tri-Li High School. So if this is part of your normal drive, you're getting a view here from the Van Bortle Subaru Mobile Weather Tracker out there for us, so you know exactly what other drivers are experiencing. If this is part of your daily drive, this is something you want to try and avoid today. Look for an alternate route. Try and find a different entrance to perhaps something a little bit further east from this point on the map.
Yeah, will definitely impact your morning.
During the month of February, 13 Wham is celebrating Black History Month by sharing each day the contributions and advancements made right here in our community.
Yeah, Millard E. Lattimore and Son Funeral Directors, Inc. has been family-owned and operated since 1922. It is Rochester's longest established African-American business.
Gotta love that. Millard Lattimore Sr. was the first black man to graduate from the Syracuse School of Embalming. He and his wife, Lydia, started their business on Clarissa Street and later moved to the current location. That's on South Plymouth, and eventually were joined by their son.
Keep up with our Black History highlights on 13wham.com. We'll be highlighting these every day.
Absolutely. And you know what I love about that video?
What?
Gorgeous summertime.
Yes.
Summertime.
Very true.
Looking forward to that. Hey, stick around. When we come back, we're getting a closer look at a new reality TV show that is taking you inside the lives of some of the biggest names in the WWE.
And don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. Stream us live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. ARC Rochester returns after this. Yep.
on the list.
Yup. Hey, this morning we are catching up with a wrestling legend who spent a good deal of time in Rochester just last year.
She certainly did. You might recall WWE star Mickie James was in town in 2024, starring in a musical about wrestling called The Last Match.
Yeah, the show ran for a couple weeks before going out on the road. Mickie sang and wrestled in the show and also came to visit us here on Fox Rochester.
Now she's part of a new reality show called WWE LFG, which stands for Legends and Future Greats, where she's coaching young talent.
I got the chance to chat with her via Zoom. Mickie James, congratulations on the brand new series. You've got to be really excited about it. It's called WWE Legends and Future Greats. Yes?
Yes. And so you're right. I am so excited about it. I'm honored to be considered a legend alongside three other shows and all these talent and all these young future greats, as we're calling them.
Working with here.
We have, they're mostly, I would say they're fresh out of college, 20s, early 20s, two older. I mean, some of them have walked in that door 2 weeks prior to the show starting, never wrestled a day before. The really wide range of like how long they've been at this and where they are, even in their own personal wrestling journey. And then, you have to kind of decipher to be able to teach each student differently because they're at so different levels, Yeah, it's crazy. But none of them had ever wrestled before coming to the Performance Center. They all came from different athletic, I know, from gymnasts to football players, wrestlers, obviously collegiate style, Olympic gold medalists. We have cheerleaders to, it's all walks of life except for wrestling.
And is that the point?
I think so, because then you get, I didn't know how I was going to take that because I obviously wanted to be a wrestler. So I went and learned how to wrestle and went to like a small school, wrestled in front of 20 people because I don't know how I can relate to them. But the reality is they have been coached their entire life, Olympics, in order to be champions in their realm of whatever, sport they came from. But just because they were incredible at that one sport does not mean that it's not only being the best athletically, but personality and charisma and star power and that ability to connect with an audience and to connect with the world and stand out and be unique, right? Like there's so many other facets that kind of go into it, but I do think these 16 that were chosen for a very special reason because they are really special. They're all very special.
It's really interesting. For you personally, because I know that I've experienced this too. While you are working with these young people, do you ever think to yourself, when did I become qualified to teach people? Because I go through that sometimes when we have young reporters or young anchors, and all of a sudden I'm finding myself giving advice. And I think to myself, am I qualified to do this? Do you find yourself doing that even though you're a pro?
Every day.
Every day,
especially walking into that, facility and then working alongside someone like The Undertaker, who I still admire and look up to. Obviously all the coaches, Booker T and Bubba Ray, I admire and look up to them. They've been at this longer than I have. And I grew up in where we always respected the veterans and, so I still look at them as mentors and coaches for myself. So to even be seen in that same level as them. But yeah, because I feel like I'm still learning, as like when you are just trying to be the best at your craft, it's ever changing. The world, the industry, all of these things, what the audience wants, what they're feeling, that's always ever changing. So you're always evolving and learn these future greats, even in like how the business model and how everything else is changing. It's interesting. But I did doubt myself, obviously. I still doubt myself of like, oh, I'm a legend. Like, this is weird. Okay. It was awkward. I'm like, oh, I don't want to call it's weird. I don't know about that. But I'm trying to step into it and own it these days a little more.
Yeah. Very good. Well, I know we're running low on time here, but the new series, February 16th at 8 p.m., yes?
Yes, this Sunday. I'm so excited.
Very good.
I'm so
And what is
excited.
one
Only
thing?
on A&E.
A&E?
Yes.
Very good. And what is one thing that you hope the viewers will take away from it all?
Obviously we pull back the curtain a little bit so you get to see what it truly. I think people have this misconception of what wrestling is, and hopefully this will open their eyes a bit more of what it truly takes to become a WWE superstar, or certainly a superstar in this industry. Because it's a lot on your mind, your heart, your body, and your soul. And I do think that this is hopefully something so unique and different that people really connect with, not just the coaches, but with someone, because I firmly believe that they're all going to go on to do great things. And to see someone at the culmination, when it all comes to fruition, at that baby starting point, and to be able to follow that journey with them, I feel like they're going to have some fans for life. And so, yeah.
Very good. Mickie James, thank you for your time today. We appreciate it. Best of
course.
luck with the new series. We're really excited to
Thank
watch.
you.
Have a
Thank
good
you
rest
so
of your
much.
day.
You too. I appreciate it.
.23, well, bringing you the latest on some of the top headlines we're following this Tuesday morning.
We certainly are, and we want to start with a local story this morning as the Irondequoit town supervisor, Andre Evans, is refusing to step down despite a 34-page report detailing sexual harassment allegations against him.
13 WAM's Stephanie Joseph has been following the story for us this morning. She's live in the newsroom with more. Steph, let's get an update on this. We've been following it closely for a couple weeks or so.
Yeah, that is for sure. This first came to light at the end of last month when we first did that report detailing those allegations in that report that came out. A lot of it including some suggestive language, former female staffer. And as you can see there, a lot of that just coming out there. Those allegations also leading to response from some town board members who have called for in the past Evans to resign. We know in a previous statement they said they believe that the best path forward for staff and Irondequoit residents as a whole is for Supervisor Evans to resign immediately. Now, this is the first time you see here. This was the meeting that happened last night. This is the first time that we were hearing from Evans directly since that report came to light. Let's see if we can play his opening remarks.
I'm here tonight to do the people's business as the supervisor. I am not here to litigate either the process of or the agenda of allegations made against me. We all know that politics can be down and dirty and full of unfair accusations. I've gone out of my way to rise above that. In addition to being the supervisor, I'm also a man of integrity and pride who has been unjustly accused of what appears to be for political reasons. Wrongly accused said years ago, "Where do I go to get my reputation back?" Now, with that said, let's get down to the business of the people of Irondequoit.
So you hear there that Evans sort of suggested that this was politically motivated in a sense, but also it's important to note that in our previous reporting and from that 34-page report, he did admit to some of the comments, while others he had said did not go exactly as they had been stated.
Now, Steph, the remarks between Evans and some items on the agenda, correct?
Yes, that is for sure. One major one, a town attorney. They were looking to hire a new one. And of course, that came with a little bit of a tense exchange between the town board and also Supervisor Evans. Let's see if we can play a clip.
So where is the town attorney?
Yeah, where is the town attorney? The town attorney does not have to be present for a workshop meeting.
We're ready to hire.
We're ready to hire a new attorney, and
Then
I would like to bring an item before.
Submitted a resolution.
Then if you do so, it is against Town Code Section 510.
So is sexual harassment against
Yeah,
town
that's
code.
against town code too. So
You mean
hire an attorney tonight. We need an attorney.
We're hiring an attorney tonight, regardless of what you've just said.
Now, this is one of a few different clashes that we saw throughout the meeting yesterday, but you heard there the challenges when it came to wanting to hire a town attorney. One did end up getting hired in the long run, so that was a result of that interaction.
And Steph, there are a couple different options for what comes next. Break it down for us.
Yeah, so one of the ideas that we've been talking about throughout the morning is that consideration of a censure against the Irondequoit town supervisor. Some other things looking more broader picture is some changes that town board members would like to bring. So, for example, reviewing and strengthening the town's policies on workplace behavior, sexual harassment and reporting procedures, and others along those lines.
And just for clarification, again, Evans is refusing to step down, and he is continuing his campaign.
Yes, and he has said to us in the past that he does not intend to resign, but rather to go into his re-election campaign.
All right. Stephanie Joseph, we appreciate the report. Thanks so much.
8:27 this morning. Stick around. We've got a lot more to come right here on ARC Rochester this Tuesday.
We're back after this.
8:31 this Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. I'm Dan Schrack.
I'm Abby Fridmann. We have a lot to get to coming up in the next half hour. We're going to get to some financial news right now. In particular, the growing price of eggs. It's a really hot topic. A lot of people have been getting heated about this.
They are. Well, I mean, you're hard-pressed in some locations to find them. And when you do find them, you're paying astronomical prices.
Right. Yep.
So
Okay.
it's obviously an issue.
Yeah. All right. So the price hikes we know stem from the demand for eggs. Farmers are experiencing a shortage because of the very contagious bird flu.
Yes, at least 130 million birds have been culled since 2022 because of this bird flu. Really,
It's not just the birds.
No.
70 people have been infected in the U.S. Most of them are poultry or dairy workers. On Monday, the CDC actually confirming a Nevada dairy worker was infected with the bird flu, a dairy worker. And that is that state's first human case.
yeah. That patient was infected with a new strain of the virus that's now spreading among dairy cows. So this moves from not only a concern about egg prices and to the health of chickens, but to other livestock.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely putting things into perspective here. Taking a look at some of the numbers. The Consumer Price Index says the cost of eggs has jumped nearly 37% in the last year. At the end of the last year, the average cost for a dozen of eggs, about $4.15. As of February 7th, you want to?
No.
As of February 7th, the cost nearly doubled. Dozen eggs for $7.34.
Now, I don't eat eggs, but I had to use them a couple of weeks ago. I was having family over making lasagna. I was shocked when I purchased a dozen eggs. I paid nearly $6 for a dozen eggs.
It is startling.
It really is. And I mean, there's people out there who eat them every day for breakfast.
Yeah.
How are you affording that?
Right. I think we've got a cool graphic that Ashley made for us, producer Ashley. Let's see if we can pull that up here. The comparison, the price of eggs from January 28th, which was a report that I believe we did here, in comparison to today. All right, so this was... Ashley, this was January 28th. Yes. Okay, there it is. So Walmart, the cheapest there for $4.17 for a 12-pack of eggs. Wegmans and Aldi right in the middle for $4.99, and then Tops at the very top.
$5.99.
Yeah, $6 for 12 eggs.
Now, here we are, what, 2.5 weeks later?
Yep.
Today, everyone is above that $5 price point. We've got Tops at $6.59 for a dozen eggs.
Yeah.
$6.59 for a dozen eggs.
60-cent jump.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we're seeing those skyrocket. Keep in mind, it's really only been a handful of days here.
Well, and you've got big box retailers now that are, saying you can only buy this amount of eggs. They're limiting their sales to individual consumers.
Yeah, and really interesting here, restaurants increasing the price of eggs on their menus. Waffle House is adding a 50-cent surcharge for every egg order. Now, I know that you don't eat eggs, but typically when you go to a restaurant, you request how many you want. It's usually 2 eggs, maybe 3 if you're feeling hungry. So that's another 50 cents on top of it.
Per egg?
Yes, per egg, yep.
Nuts. They're also so valuable that we know, and we've talked about this just last week, we talked about one of these big heists. But yeah, heists, because they're now becoming targets for thieves. People stealing them off of back of trucks from grocery stores. 2 egg heists reported in the past week. The first in Pennsylvania, where 100,000 eggs worth over $40,000 were stolen.
Yeah. And then the second one was in Seattle. 2 men stole an estimated 540 eggs from a restaurant. This looks like some security camera footage right here. You see the truck pull up. You see somebody pair up to that restaurant. And they're going to make off with almost 600
And what's bizarre
eggs.
here is that, it's not a jewelry store. It's not the hotbed for criminal activity. But it speaks volumes to where we're at, that You've got thieves now stealing eggs from restaurants.
Right. Yeah. And, these price hikes aren't really expected to come down anytime soon. Like
No.
we said, the bird flu is spreading. It's now impacting the dairy industry. So there really is no word on what's going to happen going forward.
They're not expected to go down, but they certainly are expected to rise.
Yeah.
Another 20% this year. That's really alarming. I would imagine there are families that are going to be pulling this from the breakfast menu in their house. There are going to be schools that will start pulling eggs from their breakfast menus or looking for substitutes for baking and things of that nature, because it's not just eggs that you're sitting down to eat. It's eggs that are in your foods, too, that this is impacting.
Stories that we should definitely follow up with, right? Maybe health in a handbasket, which we always do on Mondays. Talk to our dietitian nutritionists about egg alternatives, good ways to get protein early in the morning. Egg substitutes when it comes to baking and cooking. There are a couple different options that people can utilize so that they're not breaking the bank just to get their family fed. And then we have also reached out to local farms that sell chickens to see how this is impacting them, if it is at all. We have not heard back on that just yet, but I'm sure more information will be on the way with that.
Yeah, listen, I would not be surprised if somebody on your block or in your neighborhood now has a couple of chickens roaming around their backyard.
Yeah.
Because they realized that they're so expensive that they might as well try and produce them on their own.
But not everybody can legally have chickens.
No.
It depends on where you live.
Yeah.
So I feel like we should break that down as well.
Absolutely.
More conversations to come about this.
It really, it's such an interesting topic, but kind of sad that this is where we're at with the egg industry at this point.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see where we are in another 2 weeks with the prices as well. Ashley, keep those graphics. I'm sure we'll reuse them.
Wonder what Humpty Dumpty would say.
Ouch.
Yeah. Exactly. Hey, stick around. When we come back, we're going to be joined in studio by two of the pets in the race for Rochester's Top Pet.
Yeah, get excited and don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. Stream us live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. We're back on the other side of the break.
He's gorgeous. Hey, we want to know who is going to win ROC's Top Pet. That is the question we are asking of you at home this morning, and it's entirely up to you because Verona Street's Animal Society contest is still open for your vote on your favorite.
Yeah, every week until the end of the contest, we'll be featuring some of the animals competing for the top prize. Last week we had a goat and a cat, but this morning we have a bird and a dog. Good morning, we have Oscar the dog, and we have Rachel Quinn here, and then we also have Chico the bird. Podopoulos, good morning. Thank you both so much for coming in. We gotta talk about the bird first.
Before we talk about the bird, can I have you come over this way maybe a little bit? Because we want to try and get the puppy in here. Abigail, I'm going to sneak in here. There we go.
Hi, handsome.
Just to make sure we're all there. Thank you all so much for coming in this morning. Hi, buddy. Hi, good morning. Okay, so let's start over here if we can. Introduce us.
This is Chico. Chico actually came from one of my prior shelters. He came in through our humane law enforcement, but now he is in the running for ROC Top Pet.
How do you like that? Chico, what you're not hearing right now is Chico was very noisy coming into the studio this morning. Very vocal.
Yeah, Chico has a big mouth.
Yeah.
Chatty guy.
He is supposed to be in the Amazon, so he would have to call to his friends and family and let them know where he is and where he found berries.
Well, and I think they might have heard him this morning.
Yes.
Just based on the decibels. Chico is a gorgeous, gorgeous bird.
Yeah.
How old?
He is 39 years old.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. And how long have you had him?
I've had him for about 6 years, but I've known him since about 2016, the first time he was seized through humane law.
Oh my goodness.
Tell us what that means, seized by humane law.
So he came from Pennsylvania, because that's where I'm from. So in Pennsylvania, he was seized as part of a cruelty case with 47 other cats.
Oh my gosh.
So they took all the animals, and then the court kept awarding him back to the owner, and then eventually the court said she cannot have him back, and then I kept him. And he was in foster with me through much of that court process.
And what is life at home like for you and Chico?
It's a lot of me just spending my free time with Chico.
Yeah?
Yeah, we do everything together.
Birds, they have such personalities, unlike what you might assume. They want that companionship, correct?
Yes, we are together all the time. But there's nothing I'm doing at my house that is not with Chico.
That's incredible. Well, Chico, thank you.
Yeah, really, really beautiful. So tell us about how people can people vote for.
Yeah, so Chico is in the honorary contestant category, so he will not be on a can of beer should he win, because I'm the director of Rochester Animal Service, so that would be unfair.
Sure.
But he is in the honorary category, and our goal is to win the honorary category. Just for ourselves, not for the prize, just for ourselves.
Well, listen, 39 years old, and Chico, you don't look a day over 10.
Stunning.
Okay? Yes, you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Now we've got to move over here. Who is this gorgeous baby?
This is Oscar.
Hi, Oscar.
He is
Hi.
really sweet.
Good
Tell us about
morning.
Oscar.
Good
Oscar
morning.
is just about 1 year old. His birthday is actually on Saturday.
Those ears.
He was found
Those
as a
ears.
stray,
Those
and
ears.
I actually met him at Rochester Animal Services when I went in to volunteer one day, and he kind of just stole my
And said,
heart.
Oscar's
Oh
got to
my
come
gosh.
home with
Yeah,
me.
he said, you got to come home.
So what prompted you to get Oscar in this contest? Oscar's eyeing up Chico over here.
Oscar is probably one of the sweetest dogs that you could possibly ever meet, and my main goal of the contest was really just to show off how awesome shelter pets are, because he was found in the shelter.
Yeah.
And, as a stray, and we don't know his backstory, but we do know he is the sweetest.
I mean, look
possible
at that
dog ever.
tail.
I know.
He loves all people, all animals.
And dogs really, well, all pets, I should say, they become part of the family. Look at that little guy. He's excited. He loves the camera.
Yes, getting his pictures taken.
Yeah. What would you say to somebody who's considering going to Verona and maybe just browsing to see what kind of animals they have there?
I would say 100% to do it. I may be biased, but I think that there's so many great animals there, all that are looking for a home, and you never know which one you're going to connect with.
Yeah.
Love that. And Oscar is in the running to be ROC's top pet and be on the beer can, correct?
Yes, yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
We've got all of the information for you at home so you can go and vote for both of these incredible animals. And what I love about this is each vote is $1, correct?
Yep.
$1 per vote. You see the website at the bottom of your screen. All that money goes back into the shelter where they care for incredible animals just like this.
Like these guys.
Yes.
So important.
Love it.
Thank you both so much for your time today. We appreciate it. Again, head over to Fox Rochester for all of that voting information.
We are back after this. Coming up next, it's this week's edition of Crime Stoppers. $8:49 this morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. This morning from Crime Stoppers, what could have been a very dangerous situation and what authorities want to find the person behind it.
Yeah, Lieutenant Jackie Sierra, the public information officer for the Rochester Fire Department, is here this morning to talk about an incident from this past of what could have been something that was very, very bad and dangerous. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, so on Christmas Eve around 3 a.m., we have some video surveillance of a person walking down Sullivan Street with a gas can. They crossed the street, made it over to 821 North Clinton Avenue, which is Father Tracy Advocacy Center, and then they poured gasoline throughout the perimeter of that building. The fire was not ignited, but obviously we know that is a very dangerous situation. Also, that building is connected to other businesses and apartments. So thankfully that the fire did not ignite.
Did they attempt to ignite it, or did they just pour the gasoline? They
poured the gasoline, and I'm not sure what happened in the process, and then they decided to walk away. Until we get more information, we won't know why. We're very happy that it did not ignite.
Absolutely.
How long did all of this take? How long is that surveillance video?
It's about 10 minutes or so.
Okay, so all of that unfolded in just a couple minutes here. When it comes to other surveillance video from nearby businesses, so on and so forth, have you had any luck figuring out whose car it was, anything like that?
So actually we saw the person walking from across the street. So Sullivan Street runs east to west, Clinton runs north to south. So they walked up Sullivan Street, crossed the main street of Clinton, and then poured around the perimeter of the building.
And this was on Christmas Eve?
Correct.
Wow, people with such clearly a destructive intention playing out there on your screen. We'll show you that video one more time. What are we hoping to gain from looking at this video? We want people,
or even if there's, they heard in conversations somebody talking about the intent to do so, we're just looking for information. Anything helps. It takes a community, to keep everyone safe. And this is how we begin those efforts.
Now, this is I don't want to say unusual, but it is unusual we haven't heard of anything like this, have we, before?
You know, unfortunately, things happen very often, but to this extent, it's been a while since we've seen something like this. As well, that organization helps the unhoused and vulnerable populations, so it's a resource in the community that we really need. So again, we're devastated just to see videos like that.
When you're looking into something like this, because it helps certain members of the community, do you believe there is intent that this was a targeted attack, that we specifically chose Father Tracy Advocacy Center to try and do whatever they were going to try?
Yeah, I would say that the intent itself, we can't really make those assumptions. So.
All right, so you want people at home to check their Ring doorbells, their security cameras, anything like that if they are in the nearby area?
Absolutely, and if they've heard anything through conversations of friends, please call Crime Stoppers so we can help us solve this.
When you guys are investigating, when RFD is part of the investigation, what role does RPD, the Rochester Police Department, play in that? Do you guys work hand in hand?
Absolutely, yes we do. We have an arson task force. They investigate all fires, not just arson. But that has members of RPD, RFD, and then also on the federal level, ATF.
Okay.
So.
All right, so a lot of people getting involved with this. Lieutenant, thank you for your time today. We really, really appreciate it. In terms of keeping that center safe, are people watching the building? Is it kind of on the radar of RPD and RFD?
Absolutely. So RPD does, do the patrol in the area. And then again, we're in communication with the members that work in that organization to ensure their safety.
Lieutenant, thank you again so much for your time. We appreciate it. We appreciate the work you guys go out there and do every single day as well. And for you at home, if you want to see this video again, we'll make sure to post it on our website, foxrochester.com and 13wham.com. So if you see something, you can say something, 423-9300. That is Crime Stoppers' telephone number. That is the number to call.
Yeah, time right now is 8:54. A lot to get to coming up on ARC Rochester as we continue into the 9 o'clock hour.
When we come back, your Tuesday morning news break. We're back on the other side of the break.
Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's your ARC Rochester news break. Irondequoit Town Supervisor Andre Evans speaking out after an investigation detailing allegations of sexual harassment. The 34-page report includes suggestive language, among other claims made by a former female staffer. Evans calling the investigation politically motivated during last night's meeting. He has said he intends to run for re-election. Town leaders are also expected to consider censuring Evans at a special town board meeting next week. One of the suspects tied to last summer's deadly mass shooting at Maplewood Park is due in court today for a hearing. Niger Johnson was arraigned over the weekend on charges of criminal possession of a weapon and reckless endangerment, but investigators say he's not accused of shooting any of the victims. That shooting during a cookout last July left 2 people dead and 5 others injured. The Rochester City School District is giving the community a new way to have a say in next year's budget. It's called Balancing Act, an interactive online tool that lets students, parents, and teachers prioritize key initiatives within the district's strategic plan. Users can weigh in on big issues like improving school transportation and increasing parent involvement on planning boards. The portal is open now through February 21st. Now, for all of these top stories and any updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Stick around. ARC Rochester is back right after this. On this Tuesday morning, it's February 11th. Thanks for joining us here on ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Fridmann.
And I'm Dan Schrack. We still have a whole hour to go through this morning, so we're going to kick things off with some of what the internet is talking about in Trending Now.
Yeah, so we're going to start out with the famous phrase you've definitely heard at the end of the Super Bowl. I'm going to Disney World, right?
Yes. Say it one more time.
I'm going to Disney World.
There we go. The phrase is usually said by the MVP of the Super Bowl. This year, quarterback Jalen Hurts was named MVP, so he got to say it.
Yeah. So, do you know why they say it? Daniel.
Well, okay, so the phrase, it started back in 1987, a dinner at the park, and asked the pilots of the Voyager aircraft what they were going to do after their adventure. He replied with, "We're going to Disney." This all sparked the advertising campaign that rolled out at Super Bowl 21.
The first player to ever say it was New York Giants quarterback Phil Simms, which is monumental. In '87, Simms received a check for $50,000 to $75,000 just for saying that phrase.
They're paid to say the phrase, and they get to go to Disney. He and his family were also treated to an all-day experience at the park, and you know this is VIP treatment.
Sure. Yeah.
This is like Disney is, Mickey Mouse is walking you around and playing tour guide for you.
Rolling out the red carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you need that $50,000 to $75,000 for the swag that you buy there, because
just to go.
You can't churro $49. You got to remortgage the house if you want to buy those mouse ears.
Exactly.
It's true. I had no idea they got paid though to say this.
Yeah, me neither. I had no idea.
And listen, ABC is a Disney.
Yep.
I think we start saying this once an hour, 5 times a day.
I'm on board.
Until they cut us a check for $50,000 to $75,000 for saying it.
Well, and that was in '87.
Yeah, inflation.
So, you know, think about how much that would be today.
Yeah.
In calculation.
That's like double your salary.
It's more than double.
All right, we're gonna before we move along, let's go to Disney World.
Yes. We're all going.
Yes, we are going. We want tickets, Mickey. We want tickets and cash.
I hear he watches the show.
He's a big fan.
Huge fan.
Well, because Minnie, listen, kind of a couch potato some mornings.
Who, Minnie?
Yeah,
Don't you dare talk about her that way.
No, she just takes. She's got to get that coffee in her before she gets going.
Sure, not a morning person.
Not a morning person. No. All right, we're going to move along here to a deep sea creature who's just now seeing the light of day.
A shark research organization came face to face with this guy, a humpback angler. An angler. Humpback angler.
Yeah. This was, I think, seen off the coast of Spain's Canary Islands. That thing is terrifying looking.
He's all right.
Look at those teeth. Abigail,
he can't help the way he looks.
No, he can't help the way he looks. But look at him.
Yeah. He's
swimming around there.
Commonly known as the black sea monster. Typically found at the depths of over 4,900 feet below the water's surface.
That's crazy. There is little to no sun down there. Experts say this could be the first recorded sighting in the world of an adult black devil alive in broad daylight and on or right near the surface.
Is that his other nickname?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I find really interesting about this, though, is the pressure change from 4,900 feet, where he normally lives, to near surface. Like, what does... it obviously isn't doing too much to impact him.
I'm pretty sure he was featured in Finding Nemo.
He was featured in Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
I think that little guy on the... Yeah.
Yep.
Look at those teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine running into that thing?
How big is it? Do we know?
They're not big.
Yeah.
They're
Ashley's
not
going to
big.
look up how big they are.
I think they're fish size.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good... Yeah.
Fish size.
You know.
Yeah, they say this discovery will be something the crew will remember forever. Unfortunately, the anglerfish... Oh. It did die hours after being discovered. I'm wondering then, is it because of the change in pressure? The fish is...
I think this deep sea creature would survive if it came up.
I don't know, Ashley.
Set yourself up.
We didn't know, Ashley. The fish's body will be studied because they'll figure out probably what killed it. I have to, but honestly, the bigger question I think to be asked here is what to the surface?
Wanted to see the sun.
Wanted to see the sun once in its life?
Oh, stop!
Here comes the sun.
So grim.
It makes me so
It is sad.
I have
It is
a lump
sad.
in my throat right now. This. So sad.
Frightening looking, though, all the same.
He can't help the way he looks. He did
can't
not
help.
choose.
He did not choose. You're absolutely right.
He probably wanted braces, and his parents said, no, we're giving them to your
I would not want to
sister.
run into that guy in a back alley, I'll tell you that.
It's all right. He
Not
needs
with
some
those teeth.
moisturizer, too. Well,
he
he's dead
does. Yeah, well. Okay, moving along to a fashion story this morning because these are nacho average pants.
Restaurant chain Qdoba has shared photos of chip pants. There they are.
Oh, come on.
Sold immediately.
The company says they're blending food with style for an unexpected edible accessory.
They're custom pants, and they're designed with built-in compartments. You see it right there. To hold tortilla chips for easy access.
The pants will be hitting the runway at New York Fashion Week. However, for the time being, they are unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, unavailable for purchase.
So the brand says the decision to enter the fashion show was to connect with customers in all different ways.
Yeah, okay. So the brand entered the fashion show, so schmucks like us would show pictures of it, get Qdoba stuck in people's heads, and then they would want to go and eat there because anyone who wears pants with chips in them is out of their gourd.
I want to know how fresh they are.
Well, I imagine if you can pull them out and eat them, you replenish them. You put fresh ones in there. Or when you have those pants, can you just go to the restaurant and say, fill me up?
Yeah.
Like, how's that work?
I don't know.
And where's the, I think we need a fanny pack full of queso.
Can you imagine how loud?
Right? And how crummy it could be at the same time. You sit down on the subway, walking around New York City, and it's just crunch. And do I have anything on my? Yes, you do.
The birds are
yes,
flocking.
You do.
Also, I mean, who needs that many chips?
No one. Who needs
I mean,
those
I could put them
pants?
away.
No one.
No one. I'll just take the big bag.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
So they just wanted their name out there. All right, moving on to another food chain that's trying something new. Domino's is launching the perfect Valentine's Day gift for that special someone in your life. I think this is going to be a cheesy gift.
Yeah, well, almost. They're launching a pepperoni-inspired perfume.
Product that has a nod to their pepperoni passion.
This is ridiculous.
It is.
The perfume is said to have irresistible notes of spice, pepper, and a woody, warm base.
What does that even mean? It comes in a pizza-shaped bottle. Those looking to get their hands on some can enter the contest on Domino's website.
Yeah, the perfume is the first scent launched by the pizza company. Big
Should be the
surprise
last.
there. The company has previously created other items like a heat suit for drivers to keep them warm during the winter months.
Again, just to get us talking about them.
Here we are talking about
Domino's, because they didn't get enough sales during the Super Bowl because people like their mom and pop pizza, especially locally, because we know how to make pizza better than the big chains.
This is true. Yeah.
We do. All right. Stick around. When we come back, what's that smell?
Pizza.
Can you imagine? You smell fantastic.
I just said I thought I smelled pretty good.
What is that smell?
It's pepperoni.
Pepperoni. When we come back, we're learning more about the amazing services that Goodwill of the Finger Lakes provides right here in our community.
Don't forget, take us on the go wherever you
9:14, thanks for sticking with us. Today's date, February 11th, 211. Two very important numbers we want you to remember today and every day. 211 is the number you can call for crisis prevention services.
Yeah, Goodwill of the Finger Lakes has trained call center professionals and counselors available to help. Deborah Turner, the Director of Crisis and Referral Services for Goodwill of the Finger Lakes, is with us this morning on National 211 Day. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Let's get right into it. Tell everybody about the services that are provided with this.
Yes, so 211 is an easy to remember phone number. You can call it, you can text it, you can chat through our website at 211lifeline.org and services. So what that means is that when you call in, we'll ask you some questions to better understand, like what your zip code is, what's going on today, how we can help. And we have a comprehensive directory of information around resources available in our community. And we provide that information referral to connect them to anyone, really, to multiple different kinds of resources. It really just depends what's going on. We get lots of calls about food, lots of people who are needing food and just need to get to that end of the month period, all the way to some seasonal resources, like we just had the holiday season, the Christmas baskets, Thanksgiving baskets, to housing resources. So we have a comprehensive directory with thousands of different resources in our region that we can help connect people to, while also being empathetic. There's a lot of stress. People are feeling a lot of stress right now, and so just having a warm voice to talk to while also navigating all these different just complex systems. And so we provide that 24/7 support to anyone who needs that connection to help.
It really is incredible, the work and the services you guys are connected to, because again, you mentioned you've got an abundance of resources, or know where to get these people to help them. But it's truly remarkable the lengths you guys go to make sure that when you hang up, that person is satisfied with that call.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, when they talk to someone that they care and that they're listening, but also actually helping them with the tangibles, like where can I go? What's that phone number? Where's that address? Is it on a bus line? How do you recommend what kind of paperwork I need to bring? So we list all of that information in our directory. I have a fantastic team who I couldn't do it without. We have a team just dedicated to our beautiful directory to keep it whole, to keep it updated, and to keep it accurate.
I think people in general are very prideful, and they may feel uncomfortable. They may feel uneasy about calling 211, but there's no...
It's just really hard to ask for help, especially if you're a first-time person asking for any kind of help. It takes a lot of courage. Our team, we really pride ourselves on hiring people that have lived experience, that do understand what it's like to struggle. I think at some point everyone struggles with something at some point in their life, and we're there to just kind of help them at least take that first step to getting help for what they need help with.
Yeah, there's absolutely no shame in asking for help. You're always going to you're going to find helpers out there, no matter where you look. You said you get a lot of calls. What's the estimate of calls you see there?
Yeah, so we handle about 300 to 400 contacts a week. So that is chats, calls, texts, calls, but more people tend to call us to reach out and get that support. We do get a lot of traction as well on our website. We publicize our resource information for free. So if people feel more comfortable self-navigating, that's absolutely an option. It's just at 211lifeline.org. People can do it right on their phone. It's mobile friendly, and we're really working on keeping our website, easy for people to use, because there's so many resources out there, and I think it can feel really overwhelming when someone is just starting out and figuring out what they're looking for.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming in today. We appreciate it, and we appreciate all of the work that you do. We'll post all of this information for you over on foxrochester.com, 211lifeline.org for that website for you at home.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Hey, stick around. We have got a lot more coming up right here on ARC Rochester. Once again, we're going behind the story.
Welcome back. We're going behind the story this morning, bringing you the latest developments on some of the top headlines that we're following.
Yeah, and we want to turn to some political news and financial news this morning as more tariffs come from the Trump administration. The president announcing a 25% tax on steel and aluminum imports.
Stephanie Joseph has been following the story for us this morning. She's in the newsroom with more. Steph, what can you tell us?
Yeah, this is something that we've been following since yesterday when news of some reciprocal tariffs could be coming as soon as today. But yes, 25% on steel and aluminum imports coming from the Trump administration. This the latest action to prioritize U.S. manufacturing.
So, Steph, what countries will this impact, this 25% tariff?
Yeah, so there are no exclusions to this. It's all of them. So anyone who imports steel and also aluminum, and I know we have sound from Trump as well. Let's see if we can pull that up from President Trump.
It's 25% without exceptions or exemptions, and that's all countries, no matter where it comes from, all countries. If made in the United States, however, United States of America, there is no tariff, zero. So if it's made in the United States, there is no tariff. All you have to do is make it in the United States.
So you hear him there sort of re-upping the fact that he wants to prioritize U.S. manufacturing and make sure that other partners in the global sphere also pay up for whatever is traded.
Steph, I'm sure a lot of people at home are wondering how this is going to impact them.
That is a great question. And of course, it remains to be seen. But the thing here is that the impact will definitely be felt. How, of course, the question remains. It will be felt on industries like automaking, of course, in aerospace, oil production as well. And it could also be at the grocery store. We're looking at things like cans of soda, as well as construction or even transportation.
Well, I'm thinking cans of soda at the grocery store, maybe one of the smaller things. You think about all your canned vegetables, your tuna fish, all of those all of those products that come in aluminum cans,
Yeah.
we could see a hike on those.
Yeah, that is for sure. And I know that we've had local members of our delegation here, legislators on Capitol Hill, that have spoken out in recent weeks, especially with news of the different tariffs. This is just the latest measure of tariffs that we've seen, but we know that there was that pause put on 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico.
That the president could make in the future.
Yeah, I mentioned those reciprocal tariffs offhand towards the beginning. That announcement is expected either today or tomorrow. Again, another point for Trump to make sure that countries are sort of paying their fair share as well.
All right, Stephanie Joseph in the newsroom covering all of this for us. Steph, thank you. We appreciate it.
Time right now is 9:26. Much more to get to on ARC Rochester.
We are back on the other side of the break. This Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. I'm Dan Schrack.
I'm Abby Fridmann. We'll start out this half hour by taking a closer look at a local story that we've been following here at 13 WHAM.
Yeah, Gates' mother is fighting to make snowmobiling trails in New York State safer. This after the death of her son.
Yeah, Christian Garzone has been covering this story for us, giving us the developments. And Christian, this is really a sad, sad story. Give us an overview of what happened, and then we're going to talk about the legislation.
Sure. You know, Phyllis Romano Eldred, I spoke with her. Her son died in a snowmobile accident in 2022 in Lewis County. That's sort of Adirondacks way. Basically, he was on a path, and he knows these trails very, very well. There's some 10,000 trails across New York State, but he knows a lot of these trails very well, and he was riding along in a snow of 0.16, 0.17-ish, which is about twice the legal limit, causing a head-on collision between Casey and this other gentleman. And the resilience of some of these parents who lose their children, hold. She's there talking about how she wants to make real change because of the death of her son. He left behind a life partner and about 3 kids. They sort of their family together was 3 kids. You know, a real good man who wasn't one to go and drink and be rowdy and snowmobile. But unfortunately, some of these people do that, and we have tragedies. Jr.
So what, talk to us now about the legislation Mom is pushing for.
She wants stricter penalties for people who dare to drink too much and go snowmobiling and penalties. But I think when the legislation's all done, if it passes, you're going to find more of a crackdown on some of this behavior on these trails.
And it's surprising that there hasn't been a bigger crackdown. When I first read the story, I thought to myself, drinking and snowmobiling, I never put 2 and 2 together with that. What are the penalties right now for that?
Sure, so you can get an SWI these days, which is snowmobiling while intoxicated, but you can get a $1,500 fine, 90 days in jail, 12-month suspension on your snowmobile privileges, etc. So these things already exist, and it is part of the culture respects. I hear that. I knew a girl I went to high school with at Mid-Lakes. She lost her husband in an accident similar to this. So this culture does exist, but I don't think, from speaking to these other clubs that I spoke to, the Hilton Snowflyers, others, this is not like widespread. They work with sheriffs and police to crack down on this stuff. There's snow patrols, and if they see somebody at a bar who can't quite get up and, you know, is not quite with it, they will call the police on them, because it's a sort of a stereotype. I think they want to change, because there are so many responsible snowmobilers out there. I have trouble saying snowmobile, excuse me. Snowmobilers out there that they want to sort of change that sort of way people think about drinking and snowmobiling, because these are, you know, 600-pound machines that can go akin to a car really fast, and and again, you're not really protected the way you are in a car. It's almost like a motorcycle in many respects, and you can imagine what head-on collision, and it causes death.
You know, culture aside, you mentioned this, drinking and potentially getting on one of these vehicles is kind of a cultural thing for these groups. That aside, the level of decision-making just is not there. Because in no world, anyone with a clear mind could tell you that this plus this does not equal good.
Yeah, and the more drinks you have, obviously, the more your judgment is impaired, and you think, well, I'll be fine. And you head out go out on these trailways, and you know, it's dark, it's the middle of a field. Beautiful trailways, by the way, but they cut across major roadways. I was on the one that's on Old Ridge Road off 104 yesterday. I saw nobody out there. I was just kind of videotaping and walking around. But you know, you're supposed to stop at certain points. I mean, it can be dangerous just a split second. You could be gone. And I do want to emphasize again that while that is a sort of cultural stereotype, the clubs I spoke to say they are aggressive at cracking down at that stuff.
Right.
And a lot of these guys were actually older fellas that I was speaking to. They said either you're really young or you're really kind of past retirement, because in between you got a family, you don't have the time to go out riding. But we talked to a gentleman yesterday, Rick Wilson, out there in Parma. I didn't get a chance to ride one. Our camera guy, Mark Schumann, got a chance to ride. He was on there with a camera in the back, and I was kind of mouth open, jealous. So hopefully this legislation does pass to a degree, at least Phyllis is hoping so, to keep the memory of her son alive, but also to prevent something like this from happening to anybody else.
Yeah. Do we have any idea, timeline-wise, what comes next?
It's in committee right now, so I'll keep you posted on that. If and when it passes, we'll let you know.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Christian Garzone, for us. We appreciate it.
And you can check out Christian's full story over on 13wham.com.
9:35. Stick around. When we come back, we're learning more about how you can keep yourself safe on TikTok.
Yeah, and don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. Stream us live on the 13wham YouTube channel. We're back on the other side of the break. 7:37, welcome back. Today is Safer Internet Day. The major sites and social media outlets are encouraging users to be safe while they're scrolling, not just today, but every day, too.
They certainly are. TikTok is certainly one of them. They wanted to get out today and get a message out about its safety and privacy settings. That's why Susie Loftus is with us this morning. She is the head of trust and safety for TikTok USDS. Susie, thank you so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate it.
It's great to be with you, Dan and Abby. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's dive right in. Talk to us about some of the safety measures that are currently in place by TikTok to keep users safe.
Well, whether you're a seasoned creator or you're brand new to using the app, it's always a good time to check your settings. So we created a digital safety and privacy guide that can walk you through the 10 steps you can take to optimize your settings. Things like content restrictions you can put in place, things like privacy settings, restricting who can comment on your videos, or even you can sign up for family pairing. So there are lots of ways that we empower our users to protect their own experience on TikTok.
Tell us a little bit more about that family pairing, Susie.
Well, you know, I'm a mother of teens, and I have a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old. Like many teens in this country, they love TikTok, but I'm able to pair my account with their account very easily. And it allows me to essentially supervise their time on TikTok. Things like screen time limits. I get reports on when they're using the app. You can restrict keywords if that's not a good fit, if there's an area that for your teen you don't really want them searching or seeing content. So it gives parents a lot of tools to make sure to customize what's right for their teen.
And are there other measures that families can be taking aside from the guide you've put together on the 10 ways to do it that we could be doing? Regular adults who may spend an ungodly amount of time on the app.
Well, Dan, this is a very common question that I get from friends, from other moms and people. It's almost like they want to say it like a secret, like, well, I'm concerned about my teen's app usage, but what about mine?
Yes.
You can go into your settings, and you can set a screen time limit for yourself, Dan, and that gives you visibility into how much time you might be using the app, and you can restrict it, and then maybe it's time to go outside and take a walk or do something else. So there's a lot of ways you can customize the experience and make sure it's a fit for you.
And I think it's very interesting, the word or phrase blocking that people can put in place for their kids, not to go back to the kids thing here, but you definitely should add that time limit for yourself there. That has got to be a little reassuring for parents, right, who are thinking, all right, my preteen has action.
Well, the good thing about our app is we're 13 plus. And so it's an app for teen. And what we've done is we recognize that there are developmental differences in the teen brain. So everyone under 18 on our app is defaulted into a 60-minute screen time limit. And if you're 13 to 15, your account is private by default, and you're not allowed to send or receive direct messages, nor is your content available to go viral on the For You feed. So we've worked with experts to make sure to put strong protections in for our teen users.
And for those teen users, you mentioned you're a parent yourself. What are the time limits you have set for your kids?
It's a great question. So what we figured out for me is I have a senior in high school, and she's doing really well. She's put in her college applications, and she gets an hour and a half. So she'll be delighted that I'm telling everyone, you know, it's a 60-minute, and it's staying there. That's what's right for him. But he's figured out for him, it's like a treat. After homework's done, he likes to use his time, and then when his time is up, it's time to go to bed.
And for that time limit, does it accumulate over the day? Is it, you know, if I spend 5 minutes when I get home from school, and then later on in the day I have 50 minutes after I'm done with homework, and then I get another 5 before bed? Or is it you get 60 minutes in a block and that's it?
Oh, it's 60 total. And my 15-year-old has opinions about that. Yes, it's cumulative, so it doesn't reset every time. It's 60 minutes a day if that's what you set. and it's defaulted for anyone who doesn't have family pairing.
Good. Again, for somebody sitting at home who says, okay, yeah, I know Johnny and Sally have TikTok installed on their phone. They're, 13 and 14 years old. Where can mom and dad go to look at the digital safety guide to make sure that their kids are set up the way they want them?
Well, if their parents do have a TikTok account, they can go into the search bar and type check my settings, and that'll take them there. But we've also created it if you don't have an account. You can go on tiktok.com/safety for more information on the guide.
Perfect. Susie Loftus, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Time right now, 9:43. When we come back, we're raising a toast to all the single folks out there.
We are. ARC Rochester is back after this. Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure I'll agree with a lot of these things. Welcome back. With Valentine's Day right around the corner, you may be feeling a little pressure to find.
Today is National Satisfied Staying Single Day, so we're going to talk about some of the benefits to being single.
We have graphics for it and everything.
Wow.
So up first, one of the things that the singles out there say is they like the freedom. They can make spontaneous plans. They don't have to check in with anyone. They want to do something. They want to go somewhere. They want to sleep in. They do it.
Yeah. Do you agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I don't know if I'd call you spontaneous, but occasionally you do have moments where you do something crazy.
I do. And I think spontaneity within reason, because it's within reason for everyone. You still have a job. You can't just sleep in and expect not to hear about it because you're single.
Yeah.
I don't think you get to call out. I don't think it works like that.
Have you tried?
No, but I might on Friday. I might on Friday. You get full control out of how you spend your free time. Yes and no. Again, you still have responsibilities in life. It's just the chunk of time that you're spending with a significant other, you don't have to.
And
like this lady, she doesn't want anybody or her.
What's she doing?
She's soaking in the sun. This guy's just walking in a meadow. This guy's looking at buildings.
He's driving.
He likes to drive by himself. She likes to jump on the bed, lay by the pool, eat from the fridge, all
all of these okay, so here's my thing, right? Like, I don't know. I think if you're like with somebody that you really care about, you want to spend your free time with them. I understand, like, the whole, like need for your own space, your own hobbies, all that stuff. But like, I don't know. Some of these I'm reading through them, and it's like the old ball and chain, and it's like that's not always the case.
Well, I mean, you get financial freedom.
Yep. Okay.
You rarely have to make compromises.
Well, you do when you're working with me. How about that?
You absolutely do. You can focus on friendships. You can sleep however you want and be selfish.
Like, you can take up the whole bed.
Oh.
Fill it with your water
Starfish.
bottles. Yeah.
Yes. No relationship drama. A peaceful living space.
That's a big one.
Yes. Yeah.
Like if the aesthetics don't match.
Yes.
Big problem.
Also, though, quiet when you go home.
If you bring home like a life-size glittery skeleton. Sometimes
You're gonna hear
people
about it.
might not be.
You're gonna hear about
The eyes glow.
it.
It's still up.
Yeah, and especially when you won't put it away after Halloween.
Back to compromising.
Less emotional baggage. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already got 2 huge suitcases of my own. I don't need anybody else's today.
Everybody does.
I know. No in-law drama. Ooh, that's a good one. Control of your schedule. Yeah, but that I feel like falls into one of the other categories we've already done. No sharing food. That seems like a weird, if that's your reason for staying single, I would say reevaluate.
Hold on. Because my husband is guilty of this.
What?
Eating my food.
Oh.
It's our food, right?
So is this something you miss from being single?
No, I don't miss it. No, because no, not at all. But it is an argument in our house. If I go to a restaurant and I bring home the leftovers and I don't say to him, this is for you, I brought this for you, and they make a BLT and it is the best sandwich I've ever had in my life. It is so good and it's big, and so I save half of it. And the one more, I'll look forward to it. 7 o'clock, go into the break room.
It's just...
And I was like, divorce immediately.
Well,
it was
listen,
a big fight.
All the more reason to stay single.
No.
I think Macaulay's, we know they watch.
Big fans.
Listen, I think Abby just wants that BLT named after her.
Yes.
The Abby LT.
Oh, I like that.
Get it? Abby LT.
Yeah, I got it. That's good.
Name a sandwich after me. Because that was good.
That was good.
That was good. Unpredictable. You can have an exciting future if you're single.
Only if you're single.
Yeah, if you're not, if you're paired up, it's gonna be bleak.
According to the video that we had, a very exciting life. You can drive in the car by yourself. You can lay on the carpet and scroll your iPad by yourself.
Well, listen, there's no messy breakups.
Yeah.
No pressure to settle down. Well, okay, that's a lie. There is pressure to settle down. Outsiders always think that single people, we heard it in a story yesterday.
Yeah.
Why aren't you? Why aren't you married? Why aren't you?
Because I don't want to be.
Yeah.
How about that?
No coordinating schedules. You still have to do that because, again, life. You can change your mind about everything without explaining yourself within reason. People hold you accountable. No jealousy, trust issues, or mind games to deal with. Yeah, that's true. You can prioritize yourself and personal growth. That's true.
That's good.
This one I think Ashley put in there on purpose. Yeah. You can adopt as many pets as you want without negotiating.
Ashley, how many cats do you have at home?
Yeah.
I'm
9.
not legally allowed to say because just in case my landlord watches.
And just in case, who are they? The pet people. They're going to show up at her house.
Animal control?
Animal control. Yeah. They're going to show up at her house. If we gave out that address.
Those cats are
it's
loved
a zoo.
And well fed.
They are.
Yes.
They are. All 19 of them. And that's just the cats. That's just.
So overall, it seems like you should celebrate being single. If you are single,
if you're single,
don't be sad
celebrate
about
it. If you're in a couple, celebrate it. Why do you care what we think?
You shouldn't.
No. If you're basing your life decisions on something we said, turn the television off.
But
well,
wait,
no.
Wait 7 minutes.
Leave it on and leave the room.
Yeah. Keep it on for a little while.
Stick around. When we come back this morning, our final thoughts, if that wasn't
boy.
enough right there.
Yeah, we're back after this. Thoughts on ARC Rochester?
Okay, you want my final thoughts? Tomorrow, we're talking about thruples. We're talking about furries.
What?
Yes.
We're not.
Yes. We're talking about, you can't just point the finger at single people and say, you. No, I'm taking all of you down with me.
Why are you pointing at me? Neither of those.
You're not a thruple? No, you're not.
Oh my gosh.
I know. We should talk about work wives and work husbands, though.
You are mine.
I know.
Spend more time with you than I do the hubs.
I know.
Yeah.
So for someone to say that, oh, you're single, well, technically, at home, yes, but not when I leave. People in the grocery store think we're married.
They do?
Just saying.
Do they really?
Well, no. There was, when I was doing weekends, there were people that thought Jenna Cottrell and I were together.
Yeah. I think that I'm so much taller than you that people are like...
This is getting weird. Let's say goodbye.
That does it for us here on ARC Rochester. Make sure to wake up with us again tomorrow morning starting at 4:57 over on the other channel, 13 Wham ABC.
We'll see you today, 13 Wham News at midday.
Bye.